Hey, today we're going to talk about kind of a fun little technique, nothing hard about it, but where you can make your purse look like one of those really cool designer purses. You know, the only difference is a plain purse and an ornamented purse. And a lot of the ornaments on purses today are simple lanyard hook, which this is, with a string of chain and a bunch of beads or charms on it. Well, why couldn't you make that? Well, you might have thought, well, I'd like to make those, but where do I get the hooks? Well, I have them, and if you want to come over here, I'll show you how you can do that, and if we have time at the end, I'll show you a cute little hammered hook clasp type technique that I figured out this week. Real super simple, so let's get to it. Okay, so here's my completed charm string that I made just a little while ago today. I used some of our elongated cable chain, but since I forgot to bring any in the basement, I'm gonna use a little bit of our silver plated Rolo, which will give it a little bit different look, but I mostly just want you to see this for the idea because you're going to make it your own. But basically it's no different than making a charm bracelet. When you're not making it to hang all one way. You're going to hang off of both sides. There's stuff hanging off, not stuck. One side of it and the other, you know. It's just, and so that way it will fall nice. And then I stuck this nice retro graphic charm in the middle, and I've been doing these little springy things because I've been using lengths of 20 gauge wire to do this rather than head pins and eye pins. But you can use head pins and eye pins, that's fine if you want to do that, but I've been using this stuff. But anyway, to show you, I mean, really, you know, you're just hooking on your purse off the side of it. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, it's kind of random, but I mean, this is cool. You know, there might be some things I do different the next time, but I mean, you can all do this. This is not hard. It's just basically working it and learning, you know, how you want it to look. But I wouldn't have a problem hanging that on my purse right now. But anyway, to get you started, you need a lanyard hook like we talked about. Ours are Clasp 44 on the website, and they do come attached with this nice big split ring, and they're not expensive. I think they're like $1.50, $1.25, something. But to start out, you need a length of chain, just a short one, like 3-4 inches tops. You'll split your split ring with your fingernail, or if you have one of those tools, you can do it. But it's very soft. It's easy to do. So just take it on there, slide that chain on there like that. Now you have your base to work from. So now we're going to get started. Now I'm going to do some funky stuff with this one. I have some funky plastic beads I'm going to use. So I started out by making a coil on the end of this long length of wire, which is a Beadsmith brand, 20 gauge. I just cut random lengths off. And I'll thread that through there. And then I'll take my pliers and I'll loop it. And I think what I'm going to do with this one, excuse me, is I'm just going to roll this way, roll it in, roll it in, roll it in, roll it in, and I didn't get a very good loop there, but you know what, no problem. I can even do this. I can even put this on here and just hammer it a little bit, get it down a little bit. Yeah, if we weren't on camera it would have come out better, I guarantee you. But anyway, I'm here just to show you the idea today, not perfection. You guys, that ball's in your court. Perfection is in your court, okay? This is the idea. So we're going to take a jump and we're going to hook that on there with our handy dandy jumpy tool, which we do sell on the website, and I can never be without these. And I think on this one I'm going to use 2 of these jumps. They're nice strong jumps, but I think just for strength, because it's the bottom piece, I'm going to go ahead with 2 of them. I've got plenty of room to get 2 through, so there I go. I've got 2 in there. And close them. And you want to get that closed real nice and flush, not overlapping or anything. Okay, so now that's on there like that. Now, basically, you guys, I'm not going to do this whole thing. I'm just going to show you. You just choose your loops. Where do you want to put something else? Here's something else I have made. Where do I want to put this? Well, I'm going to take one of my jumps and open it. And I think I'll put it, I don't know, just for giggles, I'm going to put it right here. Okay? Alright, so now I got another reason. You know what? I think I'm going to like this plastic one better than the glass one till I get done. And then I'm going to take another length that I've already got cut here, and I'm going to make me a little corkscrewy, spirally thing. Now you have to be careful with these, that if you do a corkscrewy spirally thing, you got to get it so that your tail is pointing inwards and won't be sticking out, because if it's sticking out, you know what's going to happen? It's going to snag clothes. And people will not like that, whether it's somebody you sell it to or somebody, well, you wear it. You know, how do you want to snag your hose or your clothes? No, you don't want to do that. So you want to build quality into it and make sure that that's not going to happen. So now I'm going to pull this up, loop it over, tightly all the way into the hole if I can. Now I've got me a little corkscrew thing here going on, and now I'm going to get a jump. Now you can, if you want, you can wire right into the chain. I did that on this one, but sometimes when you do that, you have to fuss with it a little bit more, because what happens is, you know, it doesn't, you have more movement with the jump. I guess that's what I want to say. Now you can overcome that. You can learn to overcome that. You know, when you get better with your wiring, which I'll be honest with you, I'm still a beginner when it comes to wire. I have my basic things that I do time after time. I always say to you guys, you know, I'm the idea girl. You know, I'll come here and I'll show you what I've got, and I'll show you my ideas, and then after that, you know, it's up to you guys. And you do want to perfect this as it goes on, especially if you're selling your work. You know, when I sell pieces I've made, I want to get them the best I possibly can. You know, I don't want to sell something that is less than, you know, really nice and perfect. But I think you get the point here where I'm going with this. If I just keep going, this thing's going to be full of these little bling beads, and somebody is going to be just absolutely thrilled to have this. I mean, I know if somebody made me one of these and sent it to me, I put that on my purse right now. You know, but the thing is, see, here's a principle with this as well, that this could also be the focal on a necklace, couldn't it? Doesn't have to be a charm string, does it? No. Or it could be, you know, like beginning of a bracelet. You'd have to hang it a little differently, but yeah, you know, just. But these lanyard hooks are the bomb for making the purse ornaments. And I've been thinking about bringing them in for the longest time, and it wasn't like I couldn't get them, I just kept forgetting to do it. So finally we got them in, and I thought, you know, this week I'm going to kind of ease back into my videos and do something easy and show you guys how to make a charm string. Couldn't you just do this all afternoon and have the best time? I sure could. So anyway, this is the basic idea with that. You take it, you make it your own. If you make some cute ones and you want to share them with us at the Facebook page, I'd love to see what you came up with. I'm sure it'll be better than mine. For me to get good, I got to spend lots of time down here in the workshop, and I don't get to do as much of that as I like because, you know, we're managing inventory. But hey, I love to see what you guys have done, and I view you as my creative partners when you show me these great things that you've done with our goods. Now, I did promise you that I was going to show you a technique on how to make a cute little handmade clasp. These are a couple that I've made already. They're a little bit on the, you know, industrial side looking, a little bit altered looking. They're made out of Beadsmith 18 gauge craft wire. I've used the silver color. This is actually copper underneath, I believe. But it's a good wire. It's a good all-purpose wire. Now here's one that I have just made. I haven't hammered it. The key to it is you have to hammer it, or I think so, to get the look. Now you wouldn't have to, but to get the look, I like to. Now, so I'm going to stand back a little bit, and I'm just going to tap this lightly. I'm keeping my fingers out of there, because I've learned the hard way. Try to hold it when you're trying to hammer something is not a good idea. Ouch. But you see how I've just kind of flattened that? Don't want to flatten it too much. And you see you still got some play on the wire. Now to finish this off, here's what I'm going to do. I've got some copper binding wire. It's 24 gauge over here. I have a great big old spool of it over here because I use it, tons of it. And I'm just going to cut a nice liberal piece off. These cutters, which are getting dull, need replaced. And I go about halfway on this. And I'm just going to wrap. Okay, there I go. Wrap as close as I can. Not too many times. And now I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to wrap it just a few times. like that. That's good. Okay, now take them on the back, and I want to get that nipped off just as close as I can. So I'm going to go in tight as I can get. And again, these cutters are kind of letting me down, but it's time for new ones. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Now this is rough, which that won't do. Mustn't have rough. So I've got a pair of flat nose pliers, and the best as I can see, I'm going to try and flatten a little bit. But now what I'm going to do to fix that up is I'm just going to hammer it. Okay? Now I've got my finger in there. What did I just tell you, huh? And I put my finger in there. But I do have to hold it a little bit. Okay, so I've got myself kind of a crude. It could have been wrapped a lot more tightly. But you say, well, how are you going to open that with that thing hanging in the way? Well, I'm going to move this out. And as you can see, I've got a tail. So I'm going to get rid of that. You know, you got to play with stuff. It's not going to be perfect the first time. And if it remains a little rough in there, which this one is, then get your files out. Ouch. See what I'm telling you? Don't listen. I mean, listen to me. What is it? Do as I say, not as I do. That's it. So that's on there. And that could have been better, but of course, like I say, we're on camera, so it's going to be crude. What can I say? But to start it, to roll it, basically, I use the smallest pliers I can get, so I can get a real tiny loop. There. Hopefully I can do this on camera for you. Don't you just love it when somebody's hanging over your back watching you when you're trying to work? I mean, don't you really do your best job? Some of you that are teachers have really learned to cope with that, but you know, I haven't yet, so what can I say? So here's a little loop. It's not my best loop, but it's a loop. It's just giving you an idea. You guys are going to make it better. Now I'm going to go on the other end and I'm going to loop it again. There are even jigs you can use for this. I don't carry them. You know, I'm not big wire person yet, although I love wire, and I hope to take some classes. I have some classes, dream classes that I'd like to take and really learn to get good. But see, now I've made it there. It's not my best, but it's there. If this would be better on my big pounding block. But now I'm going to hammer it. Both sides. I get both of them. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to, you know, and you can play with this a little bit, you know, to bend it a little bit more or something. But, such as it is, here I go with my binding wire again. This is kind of a sad little hook, but you know what? We can probably make it a glad little hook by fooling with it a little bit more, except we're going to run out of time, and that's just it. To show you how I did it. You know, you could wrap it around a tapping pliers. That would have been an excellent idea, too. See, I didn't really have the right form. I have these lovely tapping pliers here that I could have wrapped that around and got a rounder edge. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay, here we are. Wrap this one. See if we can get it a little tighter. Okay, that one's pretty good. Except now it's sliding, which means it wasn't tight enough. Okay, now clip, clip, clip. Clip and pound. Okay, now it's sliding a little bit, so, but we'll pound it. Okay, I don't feel anything that's ragged, but that, you know, this just basically gives you the idea. You know, you can see none of mine are the same, but, you know, I'll probably take this and play with it. And you don't want to play with it too much because it's going to be work hardened, you know. But that gives you kind of a simple little clasp. And also, it's kind of a neat ornament, don't you think? I mean, you could like make a cascade of them. Like, I'm seeing a design. You know, like, and hang these all off of a chain, and I'll have them hang off your ear. I mean, there's some ideas there. So take this idea, make it better, go with it, come back and tell me about it, and I'll see what you come up with, because you're the expert.